Our stories are not real and made for entertainment purpose only. Subscribe to my channel for more stories. Now let's begin this one. I poured my soul into my pottery, trusting my rival's truce until she stole my booth at the town's craft fair, threatening my livelihood, only for me to unveil a permit that exposed her deceit and reclaimed my place in front of the entire community. My rival took my booth at the craft fair, then I showed a permit that ended her. At 30, Zoe Kim, had carved a vibrant life in Fairview, a small Kentucky town where bluegrass music drifted through the air and the annual craft fair was the heartbeat of our community. Pottery was my passion, my wheel spinning in a sunlit studio behind our modest home, where I shaped clay into bowls, vases, and mugs that captured Fairview's rolling hills in their glazes. My partner, Ryan, a history teacher with a knack for storytelling, was my rock, his encouragement a lifeline through the ups and downs of an artist's life. Our daughter, Ella, age 6, was my muse, her tiny hands pressing patterns into clay, her giggles filling the studio as she declared each piece magic. My pottery wasn't just art, it was our livelihood. After leaving a soul-crushing office job in Louisville, I'd built Zoe's clay creations into a local staple, my pieces sold at farmers markets, gift shops, and online, each one a testament to my dream of living authentically. The Fairview Craft Fair was my Super Bowl, a 3-day event drawing thousands, where artisans competed for prime booths and a $5,000 prize that could fund new equipment or a website overhaul. My booth, number 12, was legendary, its corner spot by the main entrance guaranteeing foot traffic. I'd earned it 3 years of hard work, my turquoise glazed bowls a fair favorite. My rival, Gina Holt, was a thorn in my side. A fellow potter, Gina had moved to Fairview 5 years ago, her flashy style, bright red hair, bold patterns clashing with my earthy aesthetic. Gina's pottery was decent, but her ambition was ruthless. She'd undercut prices, poach customers, and spread rumors about my glazes being store-bought. At last year's fair, she'd accused me of copying her designs, a claim dismissed by organizers but whispered by locals. This spring, Gina approached me at a market, her smile disarming. "Let's call a truce, Zoe," she said, offering a handshake. "We're stronger together." I hesitated but agreed, hoping for peace, sharing my booth plans, never suspecting she'd use my trust against me. The craft fair was weeks away, and I threw myself into preparations, firing a new collection inspired by Ella's love of stars, each piece etched with constellations. Gina suggested we collaborate on a fair display, but her texts grew vague, her visits to my studio oddly probing. "Great spot you've got," she'd say, eyeing my booth map. I brushed it off, focusing on my wheel, my family, my dream. The Fairview Craft Fair transformed the town square into a vibrant maze of tents, where artisans sold quilts, jewelry, and gems under strings of fairy lights. The air buzzed with banjo music, kids chasing balloons, and the scent of kettle corn mingling with fresh pine. My booth was ready, its shelves lined with starry mugs, Ella's hand-painted sign, Zoe's magic pots swaying in the breeze. Ryan helped set up, his lanky frame hauling crates, while Ella handed out flyers, her pigtails bouncing. I wore my favorite denim apron, my heart racing with anticipation, the $5,000 prize, a chance to buy a second kill. Opening day was chaos, crowds surged, my mugs selling fast, locals like Mrs. Clara Wade praising my work. Then I noticed my booth felt wrong. Booth 12, my corner spot, was occupied not by me, but by Gina. Her garish red and yellow tent overflowed with her pottery, my starry designs eerily mirrored in her patterns. A banner read Gina's Artisan Pots, and she was waving a permit, its official stamp gleaming. "This is my spot," she told the crowd, her voice loud. Zoe must have misunderstood. My stomach dropped. I pushed through the crowd, Ryan and Ella trailing, my voice shaking. "That's my booth, Gina," I shouted, pointing to her tent. She turned, her smile smug. "Sorry, Zoe, but this permit says otherwise," she said, holding it up. "Maybe check your paperwork next time." The crowd murmured, some nodding, others eyeing me with pity. The fair organizer, Mr. Tom Riley, a gruff man who ran the hardware store, approached, frowning. "Gina's got the permit, Zoe," he said. "Yours is booth 47, in the back." Booth 47 was a dead zone, tucked behind a porta-potty, its traffic non-existent. My heart sank, my sales, my prize, my reputation, gone. Ryan gripped my hand, his jaw tight, while Ella tugged my apron, her voice small. Why is she in our spot, Mommy? I knelt, hugging her, but rage burned inside. Gina had stolen my booth, my designs, my moment, and I had nothing to counter her permit but a sinking feeling I'd been played. We limped to booth 47, its dim corner a stark contrast to Gina's spotlight. Sales trickled, locals confused, my starry mugs ignored, while Gina's knockoffs flew off her shelves. Ryan was furious, his calm teacher's voice replaced by fire. She planned this, Zoe, he said, setting up a folding table. We're not losing. Ella, teary, drew a star on a napkin, saying, for our magic. I hugged her, promising, we'll fix this, but doubt not at me. That night, in our cozy living room where Ella's clay animals lined the shelves, I couldn't sleep, Gina's smug smile a taunt. I wasn't a detective, but I'd been meticulous. My booth permit was digital, emailed by the fair committee, stored in my inbox. I found it booth 12, issued to Zoe Kim, dated 3 months ago, its confirmation number clear. Gina's permit was a fraud, but how? I scoured my laptop, finding a forwarded email I'd sent Gina during our truce, sharing my permit for display planning. She'd had my details, enough to forge a duplicate. I dug deeper, checking our shared craft guild's cloud drive, where Gina had access to my booth sketches. An email chain showed her contacting a printer, ordering a revised permit with her name, using my confirmation number. Another message, to a fair volunteer, bragged about securing the best spot by outsmarting Zoe. I called Mrs. Clara Wade, a retired librarian who'd bought my pottery for years. She'd overheard Gina at the coffee shop, boasting about taking Zoe's booth to win the prize. Ryan recorded her statement, her voice sharp. Gina said she'd fool everyone. I reached out to Ms. Sarah Park, a lawyer who'd helped us with our business license. Sarah reviewed my evidence permit, emails, Clara's testimony and nodded. This is fraud, she said. You can sue, but exposing her at the fair will hit harder. Gina's ego thrives on attention, I agreed. I wanted Gina to face the crowd she'd deceived, the artisans she'd undermined, the town that trusted her. Over 3 days, Ryan and I became sleuths. Our kitchen a war room of evidence, Ella's bedtime stories swapped for strategy sessions. My permit was the cornerstone, its digital trail unassailable, backed by the fair's database. I printed Gina's emails, the forged permit order, and her incriminating messages, all time-stamped and notarized by Sarah. Ryan contacted the fair's IT volunteer, Mr. James Hayes, who confirmed my permit was legitimate. Gina's a duplicate flagged as suspicious. James had overheard Gina pressuring a junior organizer, Ms. Lily Tran, to overlook my permit, promising her a cut of sales. Lily, guilt-ridden, agreed to record a statement, her voice shaky. Gina said she deserved the booth. Clara's testimony grew stronger. She recalled Gina sketching my starry designs at a guild meeting, claiming they were inspired. Another artisan, Mr. Ben Carter, had seen Gina photographing my mugs at last year's fair, muttering about beating Zoe. Ben's recorded statement was a nail in her coffin. Gina's been copying Zoe for years. Sarah helped us create a presentation, weaving permit, emails, and testimonies into a damning narrative, its slides crisp and undeniable. Ella, sensing our resolve, brought a quiet strength. One evening, she handed me a clay star sheet shaped, painted with glitter, for the mean lady to see, she said. Her eyes fierce, I hugged her, tucking the star into my bag for luck. We learned Gina's motives. She was deep in debt, her pottery business floundering, her flashy lifestyle unsustainable. The fair's prize and booth sales were her lifeline, but she'd chosen to steal rather than compete. I felt a pang of pity, remembering her truce handshake, but her betrayal was a choice, and it threatened Ella's future. The fair's final day, where the prize would be awarded, was our stage. I emailed Riley, requesting to clarify booth assignments, copying Gina. She texted, laughing, Zoe, give it up. You lost. Her arrogance fueled me. See you Sunday, I replied, my fingers steady. The fair's final day was a carnival of color, the square packed with families, artisans, and judges, the air thick with anticipation. Gina's booth was a spectacle, her knockoff mugs selling out, her red hair a beacon as she charmed customers. My booth 47 was quiet, but my resolve was iron. Ryan stood beside me, Ella clutching my hand, her clay star in my pocket, a talisman against the nerves knotting my gut. Sarah and James were in the crowd, ready to back us, while Clara and Ben nodded from nearby booths, their support a quiet anchor. Riley opened the prize ceremony on the main stage, his voice booming over the banjo band, praising the artisan's talent. Gina preened, ready to claim the $5,000, but I stepped forward. "I have evidence to share," I said, connecting my laptop to the projector. The screen glowed with my permit, its confirmation number clear, issued to Zoe Kim for booth 12. "Gina stole my booth," I said, my voice steady despite the crowd's gasps. I walked through the evidence: Gina's forged permit, her emails to the printer, Lily's recording. Gina said she deserved it. Clara's voice followed. She planned to fool everyone. The crowd turned, some booing Gina, others whispering, artisans like Ben glaring. Gina's face paled, her stammered defense, "It's a mistake," drowned by murmurs. I showed her sketches of my starry designs, Ben's testimony confirming her theft. Sarah presented the notarized documents, her voice firm. "Zoe's permit is legitimate." Riley's frown deepened, his eyes on Gina, who slumped, her charm useless. "He voided her booth, restoring mine to booth 12, and disqualified her from the prize, awarding it to me for my originality and integrity." The crowd cheered, artisans hugging me, Ella's squeal, "Mommy won," cutting through the noise. Gina left the square, head bowed, her victory shattered in the fair's unforgiving light. Gina's reputation collapsed in Fairview's tight-knit community, where trust is everything. The craft guild banned her, shops dropped her pottery, and locals shunned her, their loyalty to Zoe's clay creations unwavering. Her business folded, debts piling up, and rumors reached us that she'd moved to Tennessee, selling trinkets at flea markets, her dreams of artistry buried under her deceit. I didn't gloat, her fall wasn't my joy. My joy was my studio, its wheels spinning again, my starry mugs a fair legend, the $5,000 prize funding a new kill and a website that tripled online sales. We rebuilt in Fairview's embrace. Ryan and I hosted a community pottery class, inviting kids to shape clay, Elle leading her friends in star patterns, her pride healing the scars of Gina's betrayal. Clara organized a craft fair fundraiser, raising money for local artists, her support a bomb. Ben and Lily joined my guild board, their trust a foundation for growth. I expanded my collection, adding constellation vases inspired by Ella's drawings, each one a nod to our future. The betrayal left a wound. Gina had been a rival, but her truce had promised peace, a chance to coexist. Losing that stung, a reminder to guard what mattered. Ryan, sensing my quiet moments, pulled me aside one night under Fairview's starry sky, Ella asleep inside. "You're unstoppable, Zoe," he said, his hand in mine. "You saved our magic." I kissed him, grateful for his stories, for Ella's light, for the pottery that was ours again. A year later, Gina sent an email, brief and raw. "I'm sorry, Zoe. I was desperate and wrong." I read it in my studio, Ryan beside me, Ella's latest clay star on the shelf. I didn't reply, not yet. The pain was still tender, but I saved it, a reminder that rivals can falter, but truth shaped stronger than clay. One evening, as fireflies danced over Fairview, I stood by my wheel, the fair's prize gleaming. Ryan wrapped his arms around me, Ella skipping ahead, chasing stars. "Your pots are magic, Mommy," she said, her voice bright. I smiled, my heart full. The fair that nearly broke us became our triumph, proof that my art tower legacy was crafted in grit, not theft.